Okay, so here's the interface I'm using right here, the Solid State Logic SSL2 Plus. I'm pretty happy with this guy. It works good for me. And then my tuner, the Korg Pitch Black tuner, dusty. Before I do a track, I always retune my guitar to make sure it's on there. But I'm sure I play out of tune sometimes. It's the way it goes. And then, so I'm not using anything. I'm using amp sims and stuff. I'll show that later. But so that's my interface and then my tuner that I'm using. And I use the old Sonar Professional Cakewalk by Sonar. That's the one I've had, and that's the one I use because I've got used to it and it works good for me. I'm sure there's a lot better stuff, but who knows? But works good for me. So that's my DAW, my DAW, the Cakewalk by Sonar Professional. Yep, I bought it, and then I think 2 months after I bought it, I don't remember, I paid. It was kind of a lot, and then Gibson owned them, and then they dropped it, and I was like, oh, that's great. No updates or nothing. BandLab has it. I have the BandLab version on a different computer, but I don't use it. I just continue to use this since everything I have is in that software. Okay, let me see when I do my recording projects. These are some of my older ones. New project. And then I usually start with 4-track. You can do basic, 16-track, 4-track, blah, 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 this and that. I do 4-track. And then I'll label it. I'll do Metal Riff Monday. And then we'll just say December. Then I'll know what it is. So I got my 4 tracks, and I come over here, put it left. I'm sure there's a faster way. I could just do one that already has everything done in it. So that, I'll usually do this one, guitar 1. And then I'll usually, depending on what kind of music I do, if I'm doing metal, I'll do 4 quad track. And then I'll add a couple more. Because I'm not doing a metal song. Well, it's going to be a metal, but it's not originally a metal song. So I'll add a couple more tracks in there, and then I can add them more later when I go, because I have a feeling this one's going to have a lot of tracks. But I'll just do that many right there. Then I go views. I like the console view so I can see the console and all that stuff. So that's there, and then I can label. So guitar 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll do bass, drums, and I'm gonna insert addictive drums because I'm not gonna play real drums on this one, so I'll put addictive drums in there. So that's my MIDI drum stuff, and I also have Riot drums, Cult drums. I don't know what Rapture session. I don't use that one. Let's see. I should have had some new VSTs in there, but I'll look. I'll check that out later. Okay, so that's like the basic deal of setting up my deal. Oh yeah, I got to go in here for my metronome. I usually do record count in 4, and then that, and then depending on the tempo, I'll do that later. I don't know what the tempo is going to be. It's 120 right now, but so that's how I get this guy set up. And like I said, and then I go in here and I can color them. So all the guitars will be red. And I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be red, maybe some more for now. And then bass, I usually do different color, drums different color. So I'll do drums, we'll do drums this color. And then I have the record button, and then I do all the recording, but I'll get to that. Okay, so I will do, I'll record a track. I have a bunch of them already recorded, but I'll record
show what it looks like while I'm recording a track and what it sounds like while I'm doing it. And I'm just going direct, and then I'm using, when I'm done, I'm using amp sims. I got these ones from let's see, what's that? So I'm going to use this one, the Trivium amp knob from Bogren Digital. So I'm going to use that for the amplifiers, and I've got the rhythm set to that one, and I got the lead set for the other ones. And then for the bass, I'm using the Trivium bass knob. These are new for me, so I'm just testing them out, the amp sims. But when I record it, it sounds like that. Okay, I'm going to record a track and show it in my DAW. Get rid of that. So I'm going to use track 9. And then usually when I do this, when I show myself playing guitar, I'll record the track while I'm playing so I can sync it to the video. But I'm going to do a track right now so you can see what it looks like in the DAW while I'm going. And we'll give that a try. Hit record, you'll hear the click track, and then I'll jump in. Okay, for the clean one in the beginning, I'm using plate reverb, CLA Echosphere mono stereo from Waves. And then on the guitar, the one in the middle, I'm using the Trivium amp knob, the Rhythm amp sim. And then the left and right, I'm using the Trivium lead knob for the left and right amp sims. And I'll play that. So I'll play a little bit and see what it sounds like. So here's the clean part. Oop, got that one on mute. Let's do it again. I had it on mute. Let's unmute everything. And go. I have the wind sound effect on that one. Down. That's the wind sound effect down there. Okay, let's jump to the noisy part. So this is where the distortion guitar starts. There's the bass by itself. The center guitar by itself. The left guitar by itself. Right guitar by itself. So that's that. And this one, so I'll show the camera version of what I'm playing when I'm playing along to the song, and then I'll do, well, the Metal Riff Monday. But I'm using my Squier Telecaster, the John 5 signature guitar. I like this guitar. And then I'm using my Kitty Cat guitar strap. My friend Chris, the guitar player for Lagwagon, him and his wife got me this for my birthday a few years back because they know I like kitty cats. So they got me a kitty cat guitar strap. So
That's pretty awesome. And then what else am I using? Oh, just a cheap guitar cable straight into the thing and using the guitar sim. Okay, so I'm going to do a guitar track for the video, and then I can sync the song into it. So in my DAW I have a number 9 or something. So track for video. So I'm going to record that right now, and then I'll show you all the stuff over there. So I'm going to hit the go button. Heavy part's coming up next. I messed up one time in there, and I'm gonna leave it. Okay, hit stop. Yeah, there was another guitar in there that I use that has a bar, but I'm not gonna do that one again. That was my Alex Lifeson Les Paul. So I did some of that so I can get the vibrato. But I'm gonna do this guitar, and I'm gonna record the bass right now. Okay, for the bass, I'm using my brother's cheap 4-string bass, Silvertone. Used to belong to somebody famous, but I'm not going to mention any names. So I'm going to use this one. I have a 5-string ESP bass. I'm not going to use that for this. I'm just going to use this guy. So I jump ahead in the song for doing the bass, because the bass comes in when the distorted guitars kick in. So I'm going to go hit the go button, and then just be a couple seconds, and then the heavy part will come in, and that's where the bass comes in, because I don't do bass in the beginning. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. So that was the bass track, and I'm gonna go hit stop.
So this was the track I just did, and I have that guitar for video, so that was this one right here. I'll run it by itself real quick. See, that one's got no effects on it. The other two I did earlier, do that one. These ones got effects on them. So those ones have some plate reverb on them. And let's see, where's the bass? Oh yeah, the bass is way over here because I didn't start the bass until it got closer to the whatchamacallit, the heavy guitar. So here's the bass. Well, there was the bass. I don't know why it's playing. Let me check this out. Hold on. That's why I didn't let it go far enough. What's wrong with you? Doesn't go until it gets to this one. So that's the raw bass with no effect. Where's the other bass? So here's the other bass that's got. So this one's got the bass knob, the Trivium amp sim. Got that guy in there, so we'll give that a listen. Let's solo that one, and we'll give that guy a listen. And this is with the bass with the stuff on it. No, that's a guitar. What's wrong with me? That's not the bass. The bass is over here. Here we go. Try it again. See, so that nasty sounding, and then here's the clean bass with, it's gonna get that distortion on it. Or actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna blend the two. So that's the bass. See, and then I have those. So the bass for video, guitar for video. So then I can sync it. But I have, let's say I have the two guitars in the beginning. These two, the clean ones with the effect on it. So those ones I pre-recorded, and then all this. So I quad tracked the heavy guitars, but I'm only using 3 of them because I have 1 down the middle and 2 left and right. So that's this. So that was the, there. I have the 4th guitar, but I took that one out. So 3 guitars on this one, and usually I pan the guitars to the sides, but this one I'm putting 1 down the middle just because Super Kitty told me to, or she smacked me in the face if I don't. So let's see what else. This is what I'm using, the CLA Echosphere. I believe that's from Waves, the plate reverb. So I'm using that on the 2 clean guitars. Then I'm using the amp knob. I just got these, the Trivium amp knobs from Bogren Digital. So I have the gain kind of turned down, but I got the boost on. So running these, let's see, I think I have the rhythm on 2 of them. Yeah, so the rhythm on 2, and then, oh no, that was lead. That was the lead one with the delay and stuff. Lead knob, yeah. So I got the ones that are pan left and right, I'm using Trivium, the lead knob, and then down the middle I'm using the rhythm and the bass knob, and then I'll do 1 bass clean. And then mix it all, and I'm not gonna, I did the EQ for the clean guitars just to get like the low pass to get some of the bass that you don't hear, and then added a little bit here and took some of the nasty stuff out. But as far as the ones that are using the amp sim, I'm just gonna leave them. I'm not gonna put any post EQ, and just leave them the way they are. Okay, so here's another thing I did since when I did the clean guitars and heavy guitars originally, I did them separate on separate tracks, and then the one I just did right now for the video, I played all the way through. But when I do it, I just go straight in with nothing. I add the effect later, so I split this off, and the part where I do the heavy, I drop down to a separate track, and then so I can leave this clean and put plate reverb, and then the track down here I can put the amp sim so it gets heavy. So I just split those apart. I'll show you what I mean. So right now it's just going to sound like this if I don't put anything. that's clean, supposed to be clean, but I'll throw some reverb on it. And then here's the heavy part. So that's not heavy, so let's fix that. So here's those tracks again. I added the effects. So that one's got the slight plate reverb, and then this should have the heavy stuff. I drop it down. I like to keep it around 12 on here. Kind of where I got my EQ set up. I got these two guitars panned a little left and right. The one I did for the video I have right up the middle. The one heavy guitar I have right up the middle. I have these hard panned left and right, and then this one I have it down lower. I turned it back on, left it in there. So I'm going to have 5 guitars on there. The track that from the video I have down a little lower. The heavy bass and the bass for video, and the wind sound effect. So that's kind of how I have that. And then I got all my amp sims in here. I could have sidechained them, but it's not that much. And then the only thing I'm EQing is the 2 clean guitars over here. And so here's a little sound on this. And then we'll jump over to the heavy part with everything in there. So here we go. Now I'm going to export it, so I Control A, get everything, and then I'm going to, where the heck, export audio, and then I put it in my music, and I'll go to this one, and no, then we'll go down. Where did I have G? So now this will be G4. So export, and then it's showing up here. So does that, and then when I'm done with this, I'll show you what I do. I go to like a final type of mix just for a little more EQ stuff, and to bring the levels up. Clicked out of that. I got it. I got the 2, 3, and then so I'll go to this one that I have labeled final mixing. And so I took a song, like a metal song, get rid of that one, I'm not using that. Put it in there, and then on, you know, this guy ran it, and I'll show you this in a minute, but let me import the song I just did. So, Ghost 4. Okay, so that's in there. Let me turn it down a little. So I took a, I'll show you what it looks like on this. And then so I was looking at these things and this stuff. Stop that. So I think I took an Exodus song and was checking out the different things. Here, like a compressor type deal, like. Get this. So I got it mixed so that I can keep like right before it's clipping and keep it good. I don't know. I watched the video. So I use all this. I use this guy, max bass, for because everyone listens on their cell phones and stuff, just for the bass. This, another EQ. This guy, and a compressor thing for so I can get the levels up where I want them. I don't know. I'm not. And then a stereo imager. I don't use this all the time, but I have it on some stuff. Span, just to check stuff out. And then over here I have, I'm going to turn that off because that's for when I do different stuff. And then this one, actually, you know what, I'll leave it on. We'll see what it sounds like. But that's some of the stuff I do. So that this going into here, and then my master, and then I get the final. So some of the stuff I do, I just go by ear. I don't know all the technical stuff about it. Okay, I'll try something. I'll run. Let's see. I'm going to turn this off, and I'll leave that one on. But I'm going to turn that one off, and I'll play it, and then I'll click it on, and then I don't know if the video will show the difference, but here we go. I don't know if you could tell the difference, but makes the levels and stuff a lot better. Adds a little bit. Okay, so I redid that. Now I'm going to transfer this over to my thumb drive into that one. Okay, so that's transferred over there. Shut this guy off. Shut her down. Because my music software is on this one. My video software is on this one. This computer never goes on the internet. This is my internet computer, but also has my photo and video software. So transfer the music to my thumb drive, and then I'll put it in this computer, run it through another thing. So hold on, let me do that. And I use the Kali reference speakers, so I use those when I'm doing my recording. Then I have my cheap little speakers there. Another one over here. So I'll unplug those too. Okay, so now I got that song. It's a WAV file. I got that transferred over, and then I will go in here. Let's see, where is it? This one. So I'll put it in here, and I'll leave it alone, but I'm going to convert it to an MP3 because my video software won't do WAV files. It'll do MP3. So. And I get to hear what it sounds like on cheap speakers. So there, so then we'll say file, we'll do export MP3. And then it'll go to my, where I want it to go. I'm not going to name it or anything. So now it's saved. No. So then now it's in my music somewhere, this one. So now it's right there. So got it changed to an MP3 and get rid of that one. And then I'll open my video software. So I use the Corel Video Studio Ultimate 2020. So I'll be back. I got to take the card out of this camera that I'm using right here and upload it on here so that I can get all the videos and then put into the on my computer so I can drop them into my video studio. So I'm going to shut this down and transfer them over to my computer real quick. Okay, so this, I got the video here, I got the audio here, and then I try and figure out where the song starts. So it's probably right there, and then I gotta sync the music to the video. That's a pain in the butt. I'm sure there's easy ways to do it, but like me, I like to find the hard way to do it. So I'm gonna sync this real quick. So here's my video software. So I got my audio right here. I got the bass guitar that's right there, the main screen. Then this. So I'm sure there's an easier way to sync it, but I just kind of line it up until I think it's right, and then I'll post it out, look at it, and if the audio has to move backwards or forwards, I'll do that. But like this, where I'm talking, I'll put that in. I'll mute all this out, and then this track I actually turn off because I don't want the background noise. And then I leave this one on. I lower the levels. I leave this at 0 where I'm talking, and then at the end. So I'll play a little bit. So this is muted out. That's what's playing. Then the audio will kick back in right here. So that's what I do with my video stuff. And then a lot of times I have to enlarge it, and I'll go back in here and I'll watch it to see if if it's synced to the music. And then the bass kicks in, and then I have that screen pop in there. So that's what I do with my video stuff.